Hey guys, this is Mac again on behalf of Side Tactical. Today I got a quick installation video for you guys on the CMC single stage flat 3.5 pound trigger. Now you've seen me install several CMC triggers into my AR-15 rifles. One of the reasons I like them so much is because they're quick and they drop in as a complete unit, and you can install it in your rifle in literally less than 5 minutes. Now I'm really excited about putting in this flat trigger into this rifle that I have here. This is more of sort of a designated marksman or a recce type rifle. It has a 16-inch hammer forged barrel with a 1:4 power scope. Now this is a rifle that I like to sort of stretch out and shoot at 300 and 400 yards. The flat trigger is really an exact instrument that a rifle like this needs. It's meant for more of a precision setup. So after we get this installed, we'll go over some of the defining features of a flattened trigger versus a curved trigger. Now this is a 3.5 pound trigger, which I have always found in my CMC triggers to be pretty much dead on accurate as far as pull weight. So this should be, like I said, a very quick install, less than about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get the upper and lower separated and the old trigger group out of the lower, and then we'll get started with installing this trigger group. Now the first thing that you will notice here is that I've loosened my pistol grip and removed my safety in order to get my old trigger group out. You will typically need to remove the safety from a lower receiver to get most trigger groups out, just because of a clearance issue. So I don't like to take the pistol grip completely off, because that means that you have a greater chance of losing the spring and the detent that hold the safety in. So be careful when you're loosening your pistol grip that you don't lose some of your parts here. I loosen it just enough so that it'll stay on and I can get my safety out. Here's my old trigger group that I took out. This is a CMC 3.5 with a curved face trigger. Really great trigger. Single drop-in unit. You can see it's completely enclosed. This is the 3.5 flat trigger group that I'm going to replace it with. As you can see, the face of the trigger is flattened here. All the internals otherwise are the same. So first step to do when you want to install this trigger group is to go ahead and cock the trigger, which I've done here, and you'll just drop it straight into the lower receiver just like this. Now, the next part of the installation is going to be a little bit different than if you've seen my other videos. These are the, I guess, the old-fashioned style trigger and hammer pins that have been coming with CMC triggers. They're just single straight-through pins that rely on these really small C-clips to hold them in. And as you know, I've never been a big fan of these. Even in my previous videos, I used K&S anti-rotation pins on my triggers because I didn't like the CMC pins. Well, CMC has stepped up and now they are shipping their triggers with anti-rotation pins. So give them some credit, they actually ship them with both, but there's absolutely no reason to use those other pins. We're going to go for the new anti-rotation pins because these are going to really make this a bomb-proof design. They also send you the Allen keys here. Actually, they're Torx heads to go ahead and get these put in. So I'll go ahead and put my hammer pin in first. Make sure that I've got everything lined up here. As you can see, they pretty much just push in by hand. You don't want to force anything really hard when you do this. And then I'll go with the trigger pin next. Like I said, it pushes straight in. I'll take a punch here and just kind of line things up all the way. Of course, when you start using these Torx pins here, they're gonna pull the pin into the middle of the lower receiver and even everything out. So there, that's actually almost completely installed now. You see how quickly that just drops straight into the receiver. And now all I need to do is take these Torx screws and just go in from either side, and my pins will be installed, and then all I got to do is go back and put my safety and my pistol grip back on, and I'm completely done. So I'm going to cinch down these pins and then I'll be right back. There's a good close-up of my trigger group all installed now with the two trigger and hammer pins all cinched down. Anti-rotation pieces, a really nice addition to this lineup. Here you can see the flat trigger there, very nice. Another thing that I failed to mention earlier, but I do want to mention now, you may have noticed I typically run a bad lever on this rifle, but as you can tell now, because of the smaller distance here within the trigger guard, I had to remove the bad lever, and these triggers are not recommended to be used with battery assist devices that run through the trigger guard like the Magpul bad lever. So keep that in mind. If you run something like this, you will need to take that off of your rifle if you're going to install a flat trigger like this one. Now I'm just finishing up the reinstallation of my safety and my pistol grip, and 5-minute installation is now done, completely done. Trigger group completely installed, and let's dry fire it, test it out, and see if our safety's working and see how our trigger feels and resets. Okay, let's just get our upper and lower put back together here. Verify that our upper is completely unloaded. No ammo here, no magazines. We're cocked and locked here, so let's give our safety a check here. Got my safety on and I'm pulling the trigger. I got nothing. We'll activate our safety. Got a nice crisp trigger pull. Another nice crisp trigger pull. Trigger feels great. Let's just do a couple of quick pull checks on the pull gauge here, and see if we're close to 3.5 pounds. First pull here is gonna pull at 3.4 pounds. Second pull at 3.5 pounds. And third pull, we'll just take an average of 3 here, 3.3 pounds. So an average of about 3.4. We had a 3.3, 3.4, and 3.5. So really great feeling trigger. So let's talk about flat triggers. So the advantage that flat triggers give you over curved is that they do give you a more repeatable finger placement on the trigger because of the flat surface. It's a little bit harder to get your fingertip in the same exact place every time on a curved trigger. The flat area of the flat trigger gives you more contact with the pad of your finger, a little bit more repeatable position when you put your finger on there every time. And also there's less perceived way to pull in the trigger because of the flat face. So even though this is measuring out to be about 3.4, 3.5 pounds, my mind is thinking and my finger is thinking that it actually feels like much less. So not only does that make your mind feel better about it, but it also hopefully is going to help you shoot this trigger a little bit better, because trigger is going to break a little bit less than you expect it to, and you'll usually shoot more accurately when the trigger break is a surprise. So I'm really excited about this trigger. I think that the flat trigger from CMC is going to be a great addition to this AR-15 rifle of mine that I use for a sort of a designated marksman type role with the 1 to 4 power scope. So check it out at StrongSideTactical.com, where not only can you find the flattened CMC trigger, but you can also find the 3.5 and 4.5 curved face triggers that you've seen me install in my rifles. And if you haven't seen those videos, I'll leave a link to those in the description below. If you like this video, please click the like button for me, and if you haven't subscribed to the Strong Side Tactical YouTube channel already, please click on that subscribe button up in the corner right up here. Once again, this is Mac. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.